Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
I've got two people here today with me. Say hi and introduce yourselves, please.
Hello, I'm Hassan.
Hello. I'm Leah.
And together you are part of... Oh, I've just realized I didn't update the guest thing on the stream. Yes, you are Matt together.
Together we are Matt.
And you are Absurdist Films.
Yeah.
Do you want to say to the people a little about your channel?
Oh, yeah, our YouTube channel, Absurdist Films. We make sketches, like mini series. We have a audio drama going on. Just anything that comes to mind.
It's been a bit quiet recently.
It's been a bit quiet, yeah, because real life gets in the way. But we've started again.
Yeah.
We are
During the editing process
of our latest video,
yeah.
which will be a Star Wars, a fan. Would you call it a fan film? Yeah.
It's an excuse to hit people with
lightsabers. Yeah. It was an excuse to buy like cool lightsabers, to be honest, more than anything else. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'll just get your channel up on thing here, just so people can see, if that's all right.
That's all right. Yeah.
So I've been in a few of your videos, just as a disembodied voice.
An audio drama, Motherbird. So if you like sci-fi,
mystery,
and like listening to things, have a listen. If anyone's actually in the.
So yeah, this is Absurdist Films. We got actually I'm on a second account. A separate account. I will subscribe with a separate account as well.
Yeah.
There's an extra one already.
Oh, we were on 69 subscribers.
Oh, you're on 70 now. Or maybe 71 after that. Yep, 71. So, yeah, I appear in a few of these Motherbird episodes, so check them out. Also, everything else, they're good. No, they're incredible videos and sketches.
Oh, so our first Star Wars thing is down there too.
There's me.
Oh yeah, the very first one there.
Yeah.
So check them out if you like comedy. I don't know who doesn't like comedy. So. Check them out if you're a human being.
You're not miserable, or you are miserable and want to not be anymore.
Cheered up.
So today we're looking back at continuing on with my mod development. So this isn't the first time you two have actually interacted with this world.
Yeah.
You returned the favor for my voice acting on a little project of mine at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And it was an excuse to use our useless acting degrees.
Useless acting degrees.
This is her real laugh. That's not her. That's genuinely how she laughs.
Thank you.
Nervous laughing.
Yeah. Or actually, are you just nervous the entire time?
I'm always nervous.
Just live in a constant state of unease.
We live in a society.
Like Bruce Banner, you are just always nervous.
Yeah. That's my secret cap. I'm always anxious.
But you played if I remember, a dwarf technomancer and a human. What do I call it? Seeker.
Yeah.
Of knowledge, like a wizard man. A
wizardy boy.
Wizard boy. And you did a really good job of bringing the characters to life. And thank you. The video isn't public because it was in like a private D&D game, but because I'm making this world relatively public now with this mod if it ever comes out, and these streams, I might just make the
video.
the video public, which it's kind of just like an exposition dump told through the eyes of two characters. And without the context, you might get a bit lost. I know you guys probably got a bit lost without
trying to pronounce a lot of names that we
Yeah.
had to.
Yeah, I probably should have given like a pronunciation guide along with the.
There was a little bit of like in
Yeah.
brackets.
It was good because like not everyone pronounces everything the same, especially names and places. So yeah, it would add more character
yeah,
to the characters.
there was a lot of like fantasy stuff has like its own like jargon.
Yeah.
Has a lot of just like big crazy words. Which get, you can hear how much I'm stuttering now. It's hard for me to push out. But it was a lot of fun to like wrap your your like head around and then try to find
interpret
out.
them.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah. No, that was like even just sharing it with other people who weren't actually in the game was so fun.
Yeah.
And just having these other people, because when you play D&D, you know yourselves. It's a very contained adventure and contained story, and the only people who ever experience it are your 3 to 10 people at the table.
Yeah.
And anyone who will listen to you outside when you regale them of stories.
Well, like someone at work's always asking me like, "Oh, what happened in your D&D campaign?" And I'm always like, I don't really know how to describe this because it's so like
to someone who doesn't know how to play.
Yeah.
And
even if they did know how to play, it's so personal and like
there's a lot that does go on that you can forget about.
Like, then we did this, then we did that, then we went over here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a child regaling a story, like, oh, and then we did this, and then that. It does get a bit, especially if, like, because you're kind of trying to condense 3 to 6 hours a week normally into a very short story you can tell someone if they ask about it. Which is incredibly difficult. Yeah,
it's really hard for me because I'm in our game. I'm the DM. I'm like a forever DM kind of thing for our household. I have all these ideas. I've just come up with like a side quest because I bought the figurine.
Got a new addiction.
Yeah, I've been painting minis now, which is like my new like expensive hobby. Which
everyone needs one of those.
Yeah, it used to be Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I was like, this must stop, and I just adopted another one. And then all I want to do is talk about the thing that I've just come up with, but I can't because it's spoilers for the people who I would talk about it to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of them here on the stream.
Yeah. He does sometimes tell little things just because he desperately needs to get it out.
Do you ever want to, share what you're working on, Hassan, and not be able to?
Yeah. Constantly. I want mainly because then when I have ideas, they're not like coherent thoughts. They're just like fragments of bits that like I can't even like put into words. That like it makes sense to me. Like even in my own notebook, I feel like if anyone read through it, it would just be like nonsense.
Random scribblings,
Yeah. And then even when I look back at my notes, I'm like, what the fuck does any of this?
What does any of it mean?
Yeah. At the time, it made sense, and now it's all madness.
Yeah, well, that's all it really ends up being. Imaginary make-em-ups.
Yeah.
And madness.
It's so strange because when you like the party that's I'm DMing for now, they have this horse, and it's like it was literally just to facilitate like so you can get to one place to another quickly without having to do like travel like survival roles and things like that.
Mm.
Unless you wanted to like explore the wilderness, it's just the option. And then, but like the whole party became so attached to it, and I was like, it's not real. It's all in your head, but like you do anything to like.
Oh yeah. Those characters will pop up, and it's always the ones that the DM just least expects.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah. I'll just throw this off to the side.
He made me cry because there was a dragon.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I saw it online. I was like, oh, this would be a fun quest to include. Where it's like a cave. There's a baby dragon in it, and the way I did it, I know other people have like different stories where it's literally you go in and this baby dragon's running like a shop, uh, just full of crap, like stuff that you can't actually like use. It's like rocks and bits of twig that it's found.
I bought a pot from him that is a hat.
Yeah. And he asks you, goes, "Oh, what do you want?" And then he would just make like 75 copper pieces. Or, just it's like nonsense. Like he doesn't really understand how trade works. He's just playing being a shopkeeper. Like you could hand him anything, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's currency." And the point is for the whole party to fall in love with it and be like, "Oh yeah, it's such a cute little dragon thing, right?" And then he'd be like, "Oh, I have a quest for you," and it's him like putting up like wooden pallets and stuff that you as a party just have to destroy and play along with the idea. And then eventually you start to realize, like, you say, "Okay, we gotta go now," and he's like, no, you can't leave. You can't leave. "Oh, I have another quest for you," and you do it again, and you're like, okay, we have to leave now. Because, "Oh no, do you want to go to a tavern? I run a tavern," and it runs a tavern, and you just start. It does everything it can to keep you leaving him alone because he's alone in this cave, and all it is just to take the emotional damage.
Oh, right.
Just to like wreak havoc on your feelings.
Yeah, get you even more attached to them. DMs, take note.
Yeah, anyways, if you want to hurt your party in like a deep psychological way, do that.
There you go.
It starts to be really wholesome. You're like, "Oh, this is lovely. This is a really lovely, sweet thing we've come across." And then they were like, "Okay, why can't you leave?" And he said, "Oh, my dad told me to stay here and wait." And that happened to be hundreds of years ago, and his dad was a human.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's waiting for someone who's long dead.
It's like the dog at the train station.
Yeah.
But then of course I had to be like,
oh, what was that? The microphone's not picking you up there.
I basically was like to the dragon, like, "I promise you I'll bring your dad back."
Which is like impossible because he's dead.
I'll do it.
Unless you
gonna do it.
Some D&D shenanigans.
Oh, I mean, how long ago had the character died?
A few hundred years.
Like, if it's less than 200,
it was
true resurrection. Yeah.
I reckon it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I was like, see, if I promise the dragon, then Hassan will have to make it possible in the game because he has to.
Yeah, even the DM can't say no to that.
Exactly.
Because you have to.
You have to.
I saw someone online said they promised to throw it, him or her, whatever, a birthday party, and they said they were going to leave and come back with birthday party decorations. And then they just never came back, which is like so heartbreaking. Like, because you have to find a way to leave without hurting it because you don't want to hurt it. It's a good conundrum to throw at people.
It's dealing true psychological damage to the players, not even just to the party.
Yeah, which I think is a little bit more interesting than like actually just throwing like an enemy encounter. Like, oh, you go into this cave and there's like 5 wolves.
No, I would agree. I always enjoy roleplay sessions more than combat sessions.
Oh,
maybe
absolutely.
to the detriment of some of the players.
Yeah.
But no, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Some good heartfeltness.
We had the deck of many things in this game, and one of the players pulled the knight card, which means you get like a servant, basically, just someone just sworn to be by your side forever, and it became like an NPC. So the character Crow used to be a king, and I said, okay, this knight used to be a part of your kingdom before it fell. And he was like, "I'll do anything for you, my king. I'll follow you to the ends of." It was like a really wholesome, like, it's
Yeah.
I will. Are you okay, my king? Don't walk over this puddle. It might be dangerous. Oh, you mustn't open this door yourself, my king. It could be a mimic or some stuff like that. I think that was like, okay. I love this guy so much. How can I make him like
Evil.
how do I hurt this connection? So his patron is a genie and an ifriti, which are notoriously quite evil genies.
Yeah.
And he owed her like a big favor after like disappointing her. He was like another party member was like, "Oh, can I ask your genie for a wish?" And I was like, "Okay, here's the wish, here's the drawbacks," and he said no to her. And then the genie was really angry at Crow for like wasting her time. And then she was like, "Okay, I need because Ifriti, like most D&D creatures, I find are slavers." Which is really strange. Lots of slavers in D&D.
Oh god.
And he was like, "Oh, I need a slave. Give me that boy that you have hanging around with you." And so the character Crow knows what he has to go through, and he's like, "Okay, I have to inflict this onto someone who I care about, who cares about me." I was like, "Oh no."
Emotional damage.
More psychologically damaging conundrums.
Yeah.
Thing is, like, the world itself I have isn't dark, but that's why I think it makes it worse when these things happen.
Yeah. I think your worlds are often quite like people that are essentially good most of the time.
Yeah. And that makes it worse when bad things happen to them.
That's quite optimistic. An optimistic world.
Well, that's my perfect world. Is my fantasy world.
It's when people are good and bad things happen.
Yeah. But then I think it's interesting for us as a party because we often just go to, deception. We'll sneak into here. When if we just ask someone.
Yeah, I was like, if you told the truth, it would have been fine.
But instead we were like, right, disguise self.
You're trying to teach them a life lesson, then.
Yeah, I am. Don't jump the gun. Tell the truth. Don't be gullible, but try to be trusting. It's all.
Don't be gullible, but try to be trusting. There you go, everyone. That is the lesson of the stream. I don't know how you can balance that.
Don't know.
That's a conundrum itself.
That's it. I don't know. I take it back. I don't. It's more like it. Give people the benefit of the doubt without hurting yourself. Don't put yourself at risk, but try to see practical flaws. There was another theme of consequences. Is a big thing. Like Leah's character, she like got angry at this bandit that walked in and was being a bellend, and then he left after being intimidated, and then burnt the tavern down. It was like this bandit it was like a bandit group that was like terrorizing this town, making them pay protection tax, but obviously, like the thing that they're paying protection for is from them. Yeah, so as a like, oh, he went and told, even though you successfully scared him away for this instant, he told everybody else and burnt the cabin down. I was like, all right, yeah, just as a thing for her character to learn, like, oh, being a hero isn't as cut and dry.
Yeah. It's not all black and white.
Yeah.
There's many shades of grey.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Dealing with big issues like that and big lessons I think it is very fun to bring into the game.
Yeah.
Because the game mimics life. And although it is a power fantasy in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
What was that? Is your character min-maxed or something?
Yeah.
No, it's nice to really bring a lot of realism to the game.
Yeah, because it's a storytelling game. You wanna.
Yeah.
I like to introduce things for characters to develop themselves, like a hero's journey hero should. Then I hope at the end of the campaign, the players and the characters are like have gone through like an arc, like emotionally.
I mean that is every DM's dream, really.
Yeah.
But I think, like, as a player, it's important. Like, I did that thing with the bandits, and it was quite reckless, and I am like a chaotic good character. Like, I as a person wouldn't go up to a bunch of people making trouble and be like, "Oh, fight me." But my character would, and I sort of knew it was probably not like the best decision.
Yeah.
But I was like, but then that's going to create an interesting story.
Yeah. And consequences from your own actions to deal with.
Yeah, which I think is quite fun. Like,
yeah.
No
one's character is a perfect paragon of virtue.
Yeah, exactly, because that's boring.
Yeah, that is boring. See, all you extreme lawful good paladins out there, we're calling you out.
Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting of what, even if you're playing a lawful good character, what they consider lawful good can be very different to other characters, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, we're playing one where it was a cleric, but it was from what was it called? The Great Mother or something.
Yes, the Beholder God.
The Beholder God. And to him, he was super, lawful good, but really beholders aren't
good.
He was a part of a cult, but he thought it was like a noble religion. So he would be killing people and like, oh, I'm killing them because I'm sending them to heaven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But that's a lawful good thing to do. Like, oh, I'm letting people,
in the eyes of the character, yeah.
Yeah. So
well, the alignment system is
it's more of a suggestion.
yeah.
A suggestion, guidelines.
Or a set of guidelines rather than actual rules.
I just want to thank you, Spell Panda 5, if you're watching. That was 2 days ago, but thank you for following, and thank you, Willie B 451 for following 24 minutes ago. We were not actually on the stream when you guys followed, but just want to give a little thanks.
A little head nod there.
Little head nod, yeah. So I just booted the game up, and it's worked. This is I think the first time on stream that it's actually works properly without me having to manipulate stuff. It's in the right county and everything. Nice. This is coming together. The rest of the world is a sparse landscape. But yeah.
There's so much
yet to be discovered.
I'm basically creating this because this is in the campaign that I ran on it. This was the first major arc, was all in this country, the peninsula here. Now, this game doesn't really allow you to play republics or any other government type than feudal kingdoms, and this country the Kingdom of Farthrush, it is a republic, or like a dictatorial republic in a way, at the start date that I'm going for. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to change that. This this mod is far beyond my ambitions, are far beyond my abilities. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you guys might have come across that with some of the videos you've made.
Oh, every
Absolutely.
video, every single one.
Every video.
Every time I'm like, I want to try this, I didn't realize like, oh, I don't have the skill or the money to pull something like this off, or time.
Yeah, I mean, I've really been since I did my videos on the channel on YouTube. I've been honing my editing skills a lot with the other channel I'm with, the Remembrancers, and that's really helped me in just figuring out more, and even just doing voiceovers and stuff. Like looking back at all my old videos, I like cringe at how not bored, but how I don't know. I didn't quite deliver it correctly.
Yeah. Well,
now that I've done some others.
Well, I've always said, like, even with videos or life, if you don't look back and cringe, then you haven't grown.
Yeah.
That's a very good way to look at it.
Yeah. If you're looking back and you're like, oh, fuck.
I hate myself.
Yeah, that's because you've grown and you're better for it.
So if I do finish this mod, I would want to do another mod, and that would be because the groundwork would be laid by this mod with having all the D&D races and stuff in it, and then I would want to do something that might get a lot more interest from the modding community and just the community in general, and that would be a Exandria mod, a Critical Role world mod.
Okay.
And I think people will really like that. And I've nearly finished campaign 1 of Critical Role. And
that's a lot. That's lots of content.
That was a lot. I mean, to be fair, it took me 3 years to get through roughly 27 episodes, just on and off. And then
oh my God.
From June, I was like, right, I'll actually go for walks and listen to it on my walks rather than music, which I'm actually really enjoying. And now in work, if I'm like working in like, and I can listen to music or something, I'll actually listen to the to Critical Role. So I don't watch it; I listen to it.
Okay, like a podcast,
yeah, and it means that I've gotten through 80 episodes in the space of 6 months, which doesn't seem like much. It's what, like 12 episodes a month, but still, that is 12 episodes of like 3-4 hour long content a month.
Yeah,
we've been watching Dimension 20's Fantasy High, and I really like that campaign. I think it's really cool.
I've definitely heard one of my players of this campaign that this mod's based on has recommended it to me.
It's much shorter.
Much shorter. I said to him, I think I want to. I'll get into it after I finish campaign 1 of Critical Role. Use Dimension 20 as like a break, and then get into
the Fantasy High. I really enjoy it because it's set in like an American high school, like suburban town, but but all the fantasy races are there, like
urban fantasy,
yeah.
And like it takes place like in an adventuring school, and it really scratches that like, oh, I wish this was my school itch. I wish life was this cool. Like they even have like phones, and they like magic crystals that they text each other and stuff.
Oh wow, okay. But how does that work? Like, is it D&D 5e or is it like another system?
It's still 5e, and it's all the same like creatures, and love, but it's set like you'd be wearing like regular clothes, and like one of them, like the police exist, and and
okay.
Yeah, the thing is, it's because it's an adventuring academy. They kind of look the other way because you're meant to.
Murder is kind of okay
Yeah.
in that universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to specify that. Don't get any
Yeah.
impressionable Twitch viewers to be like, oh, right, okay.
Murder is fine, guys,
As
as
long
long
as-
as it's D&D.
Yeah.
We here at
It's
Astrodextrous
really
do
cool.
not condone these.
Do not condone any actual murder of real lives. Like, yeah, I don't know. I forgot his name. Is it? I don't want to say it wrong.
Who
The main DM.
Brendan Lee Mulligan.
Brendan
Yeah,
Lee
yeah.
Mulligan, yeah.
Yeah.
I find
He's
him very
brilliant.
funny in other things, yeah.
Have you watched his CEO videos?
Oh, they're incredible.
Amazing.
His Tumblr one resurfaced when
yeah.
OnlyFans did their thing,
Yeah.
where they banned the naughty stuff.
I don't think I've seen the Tumblr one.
Oh no, that was very good.
It's super good. It's super
No.
good. But he's like, what? How much of this is porn?
Most of it.
Yeah.
It's like 9%, 98. What?
Yeah, he's such a good DM. He's got his own podcast, and I think even had like an episode with Matt Mercer, and he mentioned like, oh, as a DM, you never want to say no, to your to your party. Just say yes, but with your own like twist and the way you want it to
like
happen.
you can certainly try.
Yeah,
is a fun one to use.
Yeah.
I tend to go if you want.
Yeah.
If it is like, well, this is probably not going to work, but
Yeah.
let's see their attempt. Yeah.
I didn't like have to come up with the fly about like these crazy notes and stuff.
Yeah. And then they roll in that 20 and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
Shit.
There was a bit where I really like it kind of like I'm glad that this was like captured, like this is a thing that happens a lot, whereas like he goes, oh, sometimes you make a villain and they die in the second round, and that just happens. You spend ages writing on a villain and they die in the second round, and
Yeah.
you know that's okay.
Or a session you spent maybe 2 notes on, or 2 lines on in your notes.
Yeah.
And then it just Yeah,
I think one in our game I did like a whole yeah, so there was like a thing where they were at like a ball, as in a high-end party. And I tried to make it as obvious as I can that there was something shady going on in the corner.
It was like, these two people move around shadily.
Yeah, I had to like literally say it, and then even then you guys didn't even like try to check out. And then the next place you went to, there's like a password to get through, and it's like, oh yeah, you would have known. Anyone checked out these shady, like I had like a whole thing planned for it. Everyone opted to not, just to not.
I was very busy getting engaged.
Yeah.
So...
one of the members was trying to flirt with a woman. The other one was trying to mess with the host's dad. You were talking, like you were doing the quest of like talking to the host, and like courting him, and the final party member was just dancing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, cool. I even extended the whole thing for a bit. It'd be like, is someone wanna? Someone. I was moving the tokens around as well to make them look like they were like shitty. No, okay.
Wow. Okay.
I just sort of thought that was you being immersive, to be honest.
Yeah, it was
immersive, very creative as well.
Yeah.
Adaptable.
Yeah. I was like, they went and they were like trying to figure out the password to the store, and I was like, yeah, you would know. You would know.
No. No, it is like being a DM and trying to not necessarily railroad your players, but get them on the right path.
Yeah. There was another one where it was like, to be fair, it wasn't your fault. It was just like none of you passed the check to see something. It was like so you used like sea magic and stuff or something like that.
Yeah, I used the
Detect magic, that's the one, yeah. But none of you like looked out the window
to see.
or to notice. Yeah, and it completely went off, and I was like, all right, we've got to figure out another way. And to be fair, they did figure out an entirely different.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, this works. They had like one of them used talk to animals and spoke to a rat, and you all used your familiars or like transformed into a party of rodents and scurried your way through the cracks of the castle walls and then stumbled across the king's evil plan. Yeah.
All of the
extra
build up that we were supposed to do to that.
Yeah.
Just we're rats now.
Yeah, you're rats now, and you've seen this guy do his evil plot unfold, and it's confronted as a gang of rodents.
No, well, that's why it's also good to have like a bad guy, a BBEG, so to speak. A BBEG, big bad evil guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
who evolves or comes from what the party has done.
Mm-hmm.
Not someone you've had in your head from the very. No, that's not bad to have. It's always good to have an overarching view of how you want the campaign to go. But like, a lot of that stuff is a lot better if it comes from what the characters have done.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, they're more attached to this side of things, so let's go in this direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because you don't want your boss and your only interaction other than hearsay with a boss to be like the final room and be like, oh, hey, we fight you now after hearing about you for God knows how many hours.
Yeah. There was another thing. Oh yeah, so when they burnt down the tavern and they were surrounded by bandits, right? I was like, okay, because they will buy a character's like granddad in the story who was like this super powerful like technomancer.
Okay.
And he basically came out in this like, this is me just saving them basically. I just thought that the game didn't end immediately. And he came out and he basically had this like his own little mech. That like was a part of his like workshop. He came out of the wall, and he teleported them to different regions of the map. The bandits, and the character that was like actually like taking damage was like, okay, I'm gonna hunt every single one of these guys down. And like the first one he found and hunted down, the way I did it was like, oh, he's now got a new life in this forest and he's become a druid, and he's like one with nature and he's like given up on his whole bandit career. And I was like, each one is gonna have like a different life now, doing different things for like, the party to come and discover. Some are gonna be wholesome, some are not.
Yeah. So sometimes you just gotta find someone in a ditch.
Yeah.
Usually my character after a wild night.
Yeah.
How did I get in this?
We all love a good like, oh, you got drunk and now you have to figure out what happened.
Yeah. Characters casted alter memory on themselves with a heavy night of drinking.
Especially for me, like, because I don't drink, having stuff like that is actually quite fun. Like those like stories of like, oh yeah, did crazy stuff last night.
Wild, had a wild night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one in Skyrim comes to mind when you spoilers spoilers for that one side quest in Skyrim.
In Skyrim, which came out 11 years
Like
ago.
11 years ago.
I think you'll find it only came out this year again. So
And last year, and the year
Maybe
before,
before that.
and probably next year. Where you get drunk and like you marry a hag raven.
yeah.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Oh yeah. So there's what they call Daedra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one disguised as like a guy and he challenges you to a drinking game.
Okay.
And you drink until you pass out, and you wake up desecrating a temple.
Yeah.
The temple, like one of the like ladies of the temple, kick you out. And you walk around, you see you've like properly messed things up, and you sold someone's goat to a giant, and you have to get the goat back. You proposed to a hag raven, and she's like, and you actually see her, and she's like, "Oh, my love,
Yeah.
come back to me."
Except in the game, I got the ring from the woman that I'd married in
Right.
game. So
Oh,
she was the one who'd made the ring for me to give to the
Oh,
tiger
yeah.
raven.
Oh,
But the game just sort of didn't recognize that
Like-
she was also my actual wife.
yeah. Your wife was like, "Yes, I made you this ring."
Your betrothed hag raven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, darling, I'm sorry. I
I was not myself. Yeah,
Like
the hag
Skyrim
raven's like,
Vegas.
yeah.
Yeah.
The hag raven, you see her in a hut, and she's like, "Come here and give me a kiss." And you can't actually stay married to her. I really hoped you could. I'd have loved to stay
Of course
married
you
to
did.
the hag raven. Just as like I live happily ever after in this like mud hut. And then you have to turn it down, then you have to kill her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Now for your massive contribution to the stream or the mod. This is where my creative brain has stopped. We need to come up with names for provinces, because every single province in this game has to be named. And it goes into a far higher resolution of the world than I have on my, maps, like the one in the top right of the stream.
Mhm.
So this place is in like a farmland area, and it's like borders some rivers and like a big inlet bay thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the cultural naming things, think of like generic English.
Right, yeah.
So
Like-
tun at the end, or like
Yeah.
a word, or like a verb and then a noun.
Oakington.
Sorry?
Oakington.
Oakington. Well,
Yeah.
there's no trees.
Oh. Yeah.
Trees.
Yeah. It used to be full of trees.
Until
Now
they
they
cut it all down for
They
farmland.
cut them all down, and then they had to keep the name.
Yeah, actually, that's good backstory.
I'm gonna
Oakington.
do this for all of them now.
People are like, wait, hang on. Why is there no
Yeah.
trees?
It's like Greenland and Iceland.
They will have to look back at stream number 4 of the mod development streams to find out the backstory of that one. And another one as well, because we need another name. This one is kind of on a hill, I think. Basically, if you're looking in the game thing, it's like here. It's where this hill is, next to this lake, on this farm. So this is Oakington. What do you mean?
Does the lake have a name?
I think it does.
What it is, I could not tell.
So it's rolling hills. What lives there? Well, if any?
Halflings.
Halflings.
Many a halfling. In fact,
Ooh.
only halflings for the most
Green
part.
barrel.
Yes.
What?
Green barrel.
Why green barrel?
Because barrels are like
Like hills.
are like a slope.
Like
right?
a hill.
Like a hill, right?
Right.
And
Like green.
halflings like barrels.
Because they like to excessively drink. Yes.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, that's a barrel.
That's a good one, actually.
The story is a giant once was walking by and was drinking from this large barrel. To him, it was a regular sized barrel.
Yes.
And dropped it, and then just never came back for it. And the nature reclaimed the barrel as this hill.
There you go. Further backstory, and the ale is now stale and is the lake that it's next to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you are.
Salty.
Yeah, this is why I let him do all the creative work.
in the writing process.
I just type what he says.
Yeah. You're my
big
scribe.
yeah.
You're my
I'm gonna say secretary.
secretary. No. I feel like. Can you still? Is that still a term?
What?
Secretary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that you're not meant to call people that anymore.
Personal assistant.
Personal assistant, maybe?
Yeah.
But you're not a secretary if you just work in an office and do like admin
Secretary work. I don't know.
Yeah, isn't that?
Secretarial work.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I had not heard that.
I think someone once was like, "Oh, you're not meant to say that anymore" to me, and I was like, "Oh shit, okay, cool."
Secretary.
Yeah. I don't know if they had legitimate grounds.
No.
I just believe them.
They just went like, let's screw with this guy.
I feel like you could do that if you're like, "Oh, you're not meant to call it jumpers anymore because of suicide." You're meant to call them woolen covers. Yeah. I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, don't worry, I won't say that anymore. And someone's gonna be like, oh, they're taking away the word jumper from people are too sensitive nowadays.
Every one tweet, someone
Yeah.
would be like, snowflakes are taking away jumpers.
The millennials are destroying the English language.
They're destroying.
Anything else needed named?
Well, speaking of people getting annoyed at very minor things, this this area, fartherish, the halflings who live here, you might have noticed that there's a very small, God, here we go again, isthmus between the peninsula and the rest of the continent here.
Mm-hmm.
They basically they did the fantasy thing and also the Roman thing and put up a wall during a Great War on the rest of the continent, and they were like, isolationism, and then the Republic became more and more corrupt and is a republic in name and like structure only, really. It's as corrupt as anything now, and because of their 400 odd years of self-imposed isolation, the people of Farthrush are now like incredibly isolationist and xenophobic.
Oh, cool.
America.
Yes.
Don't say that on the street.
Yeah. Imagine America plus Brexit.
Oh my god. You just call it like Johnson Land or
Johnson. No more politics. We had a request on a previous stream that we don't talk about politics. Well, that was about.
You're gonna get him cancelled.
That was about the Ukraine, I think, and Russia that we were talking about.
So are you looking for a name for that?
Well, the county itself, which is kind of this coast along this bay here with this farm and this like little tributary river here. The capital is Flyton. Which is going to be here in this bordered river in the other county. And the placeholder name was Greenfields.
Oh.
The county, but that doesn't really feel like a county. It feels more like a housing estate.
Okay.
So any ideas would be welcome.
So that's still halflings.
Yeah, this whole peninsula that I'm working on as the test for the mod is all halflings.
Flight and blue. Can
you call it a bay? Is that a bay?
Yeah, that would be a bay.
Yeah.
Something bay.
Something bay, yeah.
Bay, I mean, it is, looking on the province map here, it is kind of like almost a crescent shape. Bay crest? Bay crescent?
Crescent Bay?
Crescent Bay?
Crest Bay? Crescent Bay?
Crest Bay. Crescent Bay also sounds like a retirement home.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Shady Shoals.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, it is. That's from Crescent Bay. It kind of looks like the tip of a crown, maybe Crown Bay.
Ooh, yeah.
Crown Bay. Oh,
that sounds like a pub.
Yeah.
The Crown Bay pub. I mean, it is based off of rural England, this whole peninsula area, so that would make sense.
Yeah. Although, of course, in Yorkshire, we love just adding Dale at the end of everything.
Dale. I should have done that. All the duchies are end in shire.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So ending all the counties in Dale would have been a in Greendale. Wait, isn't that something?
Community.
Oh, this is community. Yeah. Oh, I almost added too many colors there. These numbers I'm typing in, by the way, are RGB values.
Right.
Of colors. And 255, 255, 255 is white. So I don't know what 255, 255, 255, 255 would have been. We would have seen an extra dimension there. Yeah, so... Well, so far... Alright, well, I'll go for Crest Bay, was it? Or Bay Crest? Crest Bay.
Crest Bay?
Crest Bay.
Yeah.
The county of Crest Bay. The Count of Crest Bay. Yeah, I like that, actually.
Crest Bay.
Crest Bay.
It could have been Crest Bay, and then it could change into Crest Bay.
What's the Crest Bay? Crest Bay. What do you have the lore of why it's called that? Is it just because
it's because there's a crescent and there's a bay in it?
Right. Yeah, there you
That's
go.
my world building done.
It's
the creative work for me today, so
that's all you need.
Yeah.
For English town names like this.
Yeah.
I just look at most American towns and see why they're called what they're called.
I mean, when I was in America, I was in a Springfield, and I was like, "Oh wow, is this the Springfield?" And no, there's a Springfield in like every single state.
Which state were you in? Which Springfield were you in?
Springfield. I was in Springfield in Massachusetts.
Oh, I think the is the one in The Simpsons Illinois?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Absolutely no clue.
Fact check someone.
Yeah.
I will Google it.
Oh yes, the device we all have now to instantly find information.
Wait, but in the Simpsons movie, they do a joke where they're like, "Oh, the 4 states that border Springfield," and they say like 4 states that are like opposite ends of the country to each other.
It's Oregon, apparently.
Oh.
Yep.
That's the inspiration.
I've never been to America. Yeah, Oregon. so sadly, this is how this gets cancelled.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a large American.
Middle of nowhere kind of American place.
I feel like I don't think I'd be like allowed on the flight.
I did get patted down.
Oh,
To
cool.
be fair,
Cool.
it was on the way back from France where they insisted I had a knife in my bag, and I was just there like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I love being terrified and scarred for
Yeah.
life by airport security.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
No further communique on that. Just like reliving, sitting there reliving the memories of, oh god.
There's no airport security in D&D.
Would it try to like you have to check before you go.
You have to do that, like, you have
Take your shoes off.
all your weapons out.
Can you imagine? Take all your weapons out, and it's just 5 minutes.
Just 10 minutes of your bag holding.
Yeah.
I always try to be like, okay, we're not gonna all have bag of holdings. We're gonna try to do the weight stuff, but I can't keep track of that.
It is difficult. Encumbrance is incredibly hard.
Yeah.
Like I've recently, like maybe 6 months ago, but in game time, it's not been that long. Reintroduced, or like for the first time in the campaign, introduced exhaustion. And even that is like difficult enough to keep up with.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna have a hunger, exhaustion, and thirst bar, but I was like, 2 of the characters aren't affected by any of those.
Yeah.
Because Warforged and someone else was playing like a custom race. I was like, oh well, what the fuck? What do I do now? What's the point?
Yeah, sometimes we get exhausted, sometimes we just sort of forget to be exhausted.
Yeah, I suppose. That happens in real life. So.
Forget to be exhausted. I actually get that at work a lot where I forget to drink.
Yeah.
And then I get home and I'm like, oh, I'm so dehydrated and exhausted and my head is sore.
Gosh.
All I think about at work is food, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm like, when's lunch?
All I think about at work is like, when will work end? When will life end?
Hashtag relatable.
That feeling when you want work to end. Lol, minion picture.
I can add relatable to the tags of this stream then.
These hot takes about not enjoying 8 to 5.
Yeah. I know not many people can relate, but
to having to work
go to work.
retail.
Cool.
I know it's like a hard-fought, cutthroat industry. It is. Sometimes it's like hard to get like regular-ass jobs these days.
Yeah. At least the ones that don't leave you feeling like death.
Yeah.
Or like you're stuck.
I think the one thing I refuse to apply to is like Amazon warehouse.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. One of our housemates used to work at an Amazon warehouse, and one of my co-workers worked at Amazon warehouse, and they both just have horrific stories.
Oof.
Fun, like really horrific, like.
Any examples?
I feel like this will turn into a very different stream. It's not,
It's just,
it's just really like, it's really sad.
Like, oh, they took 20 minutes off my break because of.
But
Yeah.
Or like, the machine didn't work and I got in trouble for it, and he got in trouble for it. Like, falling behind schedule, and it's because it was a machine issue.
If you introduce this in the D&D campaign.
Oh yeah, well we
Just have
we had a side quest to run the tavern. I was like,
yeah.
well, you've all like we're not working, and you're spending your time at work doing a job. It was like a mini game. It was like doing like a Cooking Mama kind of style. But
Oh, okay. Wait, so how does that work with D&D?
right, so I did it like so. Everyone had to roll initiative as if it was combat,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
And then you had to tackle these guests.
Good start.
So I made it so because I have like these cardboard NPCs which I just place on the map and stuff. We made the map of the actual tavern, and someone had to work the bar, someone had to serve customers, someone had to work in the kitchen, and someone had to handle the bedrooms.
Hmm.
And someone was security, right? Um, so it came in like there's like 5 waves, and they get progressively harder. So like a bunch of people will come in, and it could be regular customers who want a drink and want some food, or it could be someone wants a bedroom and goes into the bedroom and starts summoning eldritch beings.
Oh,
And
okay.
you have to kick them out.
Yeah.
Some of them will purposefully like put a hair on their food, and you have to deal with that customer.
Yeah.
And then someone else will start like a bar fight, or someone try to steal. And all while you have to make rolls to see if you successfully make a decent enough meal, or
Yeah.
you don't drop the bottle where you're trying to walk all the way to the. There's like performance rolls, like you have to roll your dexterity to cook the food or stuff like that.
Hmm.
And the bard had to play a song, and you have to roll a performance roll, and all of that adds up to the customer experience and how much of a pain they will be.
The
Yeah, that's really-
TripAdvisor review they leave for you.
Yeah, they're like demanding to speak to the manager, and I was there like, "Hello, I'm the manager now," and
Yeah, these 2 women you spawned with giving them a really bad meal and serving them to their faces, and left and brought back like a
Huge
bodyguard, but huge, like not even like a half orc, like a full orc, to like tear down the place.
yeah.
And like punched one of the characters in the face, and like once it started smashing stuff. So there was a chance you earn the day wage and you earn tips, but the damages you have to pay back.
Yeah.
You guys did surprisingly really well, considering that's like the thing where you're meant to mess up compared to all the stuff you're meant to go through quite
Yeah,
easily
I
and
fight
mess up.
a dragon or whatever, but
Yeah,
running a bar.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of that. I include lots of like sort of mini games to break up the monotony of like dice rolling,
Yeah.
like like it's yeah. I have like a fishing mini game, which is a mark of a full well-rounded game if you can fish. Well, on the map I'll draw like dots, and you have to roll a d4 at the map. And if it's 1, you only have to be 1 square away from the dot, or if it's 4, you have to be 4 square away from the dot. And like that's how the difficulty is how high you roll. If you roll 1, it's harder. If you roll 4, it's easier, obviously.
Yeah.
And then whatever you get is like the fish, or sometimes it's like an item that's been dropped down. I think one time you got like a porn mag that you sold.
My half orc cleric managed to get a porn magazine, which we then what is it? We
sold.
had an auction, didn't we?
Yeah.
Try and convince people to pay for this vintage porn magazine.
Yeah, I think stuff like that.
Did anybody take
Yeah,
up on that
some
offer?
would, didn't they?
Yeah, we sold it for quite a bit, I think, at the time. Yeah.
Oh. Right.
Do you know that there's that I don't know if it's a theory or it's a proven thing that everything eventually evolves into a crab.
Yeah, well, I've seen that meme. Definitely, there's
Yeah.
a very good YouTuber, Crit Crab.
Yeah.
It reads a lot
And
of
then
things.
every D&D party will eventually try to start their own business.
Yes.
Every single campaign I've ever done, they've always been like, okay, how do we start making money?
Yeah. Everybody wants to start something that gives them like an easy passive income in the background. Yeah, so that
Well,
they
that's
can go
real
and do
life,
whatever
isn't
they
it?
want.
That's what you said at the beginning. Is D&D mimics real life.
It does. I mean, everyone would want a passive income so they could work on their creative pursuits.
Exactly.
Or adventuring pursuits. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish like adventuring was like a viable thing in real life.
I think that ended in the 1800s when literally everything
Yeah.
was explored.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to explore. Oh, the ocean.
Oh, the ocean, yeah.
I think I would rather die.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of scary things in there.
There are no more worlds left to conquer.
That's from the. I first heard that quote not in like some big poetic speech or something, but in the Brendan Lee Mulligan Oreo CEO video. Oh, that was good. Like it's been in my head a lot since I heard it. Like, it's a depressing but also very profound statement that I heard in a comedy video about the CEO of Oreos.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
The biggest thing I struggle with D&D, which is also something I struggle in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's so many rules.
Yeah.
There's so many things that you have to like remember and keep track of.
Yeah. But
Each
at least in
spell has its own
D&D,
ruling.
it's subjective.
Yeah, I suppose. But it's like rulings for specific spells and things like that. Like if I usually just believe them if they say, "Oh yeah, this can reach," or "Oh yeah, this works in this situation." But one time I was like, "This seems really broken." It was like the telekinetic.
Yeah.
Was it like the? It was like detect thoughts. Yeah. I was like, this seems really broken. And then I read it, and it was like, oh, it's not being used anyway. That
Yeah.
you're meant to be able to use. 'Cause at the time we were doing it like, oh, you can delve deeper, but they can't contest it, or that you can communicate back and forth. Which is not this is not the case. You can't do that.
Yeah. It's usually me who goes like, well, actually,
Oh, you're the rules lawyer.
like only if I know it, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's the yeah.
But like if I do know it, I won't.
Yeah.
Even if it sort of takes the party back. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, it's
actually.
pretty good, like to have in some cases, as long as you're not doing it like relentlessly.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there was a spell I used. And I did it, and then I went, wait, are these guys undead? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, that spell doesn't work against undead. And you were just like, maybe you're just really gullible, aren't you? Yeah.
I've already made all these rolls and we've moved on.
I mean, at that point, you just gotta roll with it and be like, all right, well, next time we'll just.
Yeah.
I'll rewind time like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that in one of my sessions with layer actions. I'd forgotten to take the layer actions.
Oh, right.
And I made a ruling on the spot because it was quite an intense thing. I was like, okay, we'll just do this. And I ended up regretting it because it really did like it stuff that the character would have done. They would have done stuff differently had those layer actions actually happened, when they were supposed to happen. So
yeah,
I've learned now, like if you forget to do something or you've read something wrong, you've figured it out, it's best to just roll with it and just remember for next time.
Yeah.
One of the members of the party told me they're planning on doing something, which I really wish they didn't tell me.
Okay.
Because now it's going to look like I've given this character an item to specifically spite that plan, even though I've had it planned like way before it was ever mentioned. I can't mention it now.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is just going to seem like I'm being a dick and like pre-planned for your idea. I was like, oh, he was telling me, and I didn't want to like spoil it for him, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, I had a similar moment where in my campaign, a character chose to do like a lot of he'd retired his previous character and he'd moved on to like a new character as a sorcerer with a lot of fire spells.
Right.
And it was at the moment that like they'd moved on to the new story arc, the next story arc, where a lot of the guys that were fighting were like cultists who wore robes of fire resistance.
Oh.
So it looked like it was a direct counter to this new character.
Yeah.
But it was literally just like, this is just the story beats.
Yeah. Well, in our campaign, I rolled for like the world stuff because I wanted to see like I rolled for all the world stuff and then I wrote around that because I wanted to give myself that like challenge. And two of it was like magic is draining and magic is like fading from the world. So I'm having to like build a thing of like so all the characters had to decide a reason if they're playing a magic class why they still have magic.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so like Leah's is she has a familiar that's like seeping magic into her slowly.
Okay.
And someone else is like they have a genie that which the genie grants them magic in an exchange of like servitude, and stuff like that. And it's proven to be quite difficult because most creatures you come across, or most people have magic and things like that. And as a but everybody's because it's like, oh, how do I come up with a crazy way? Everybody's playing magic classes. Even the fighter took Eldritch Knight, which is a magic class, and I want to be like, mate, guys, later on this is gonna really fuck you, and you needed one person who wasn't a magic class, and I don't want to be mean and be like, okay, suddenly you can't do this, and be like, and then everybody's fucked. Yeah. I was like, but you've made the choice to be a magic user.
Did you at least warn them at the start?
I did, yeah, I did. That's why I said, okay, if you're gonna play a magic user, then you're gonna have to like justify it. But even if you're playing a magic user, then even like she picked a fighter and then went to Eldritch Knight. I was like, oh, it's cool, and I understand why you chose Eldritch Knight, but
when did you start that thing? Because Eldritch Knight is a relatively new.
Oh, it's in the player's handbook, like the first one.
Is it? Am I thinking about something else?
Are you thinking Echo Knight?
Echo Knight. There you go.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Echo Knight,
I think.
Which is a relatively new. Yeah, Tasha's.
Yeah.
There you go. I am not infallible. As my player who was at the brunt of that double layer action will tell you.
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to just be meta game and be like, guys, listen. But I don't want to do that because that'd be spoilers. But at the same time, it looks like I'm doing it on purpose. And it's like stuff I've planned to like spike coming around.
Yeah, well, that is the question. Is like if you've got something planned and the players go away, that makes it look like you've planned in advance, like against them. Do you change that to make it more balanced with their thing, or do you keep to the original plan and just be like, well, this has been.
Yeah. Personally, I do fudge rolls quite a bit. Just for the sake of an interesting story. It's usually for the player's advantage.
Yeah.
So the story can go on. Like there was one bit where a character would have just been one shot because of a bad decision. Because there was like a character I put there. He's like a captain of the guild that was like head of the town, and they pissed him off like something fierce. And I was like, "Well, you would die now because you're a level 1 and he's like a level 20 something."
Indeed, me who would die.
Yeah, you would have literally been one shot. I then had to be like, "Oh, well, he decided to hold back rather than just kill you. Even though in real life he would have just killed you.
In real life, I wouldn't have made such a bad decision.
I suppose.
I mean, we all make bad decisions in real life. Maybe too many, more than we care to admit.
I have a degree on my wall. That's just a testament to that.
Oh, don't we all?
Yeah. With the on that note, we have to sign off.
Oh, you've got to go.
Yeah.
All right, well,
it's like 10:30 and we haven't eaten dinner yet.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll be an extra 10 minutes on the stream if anyone wants to hang around in the viewership. Unless you guys are happy to hang around for another 10 minutes. It's literally just this last duchy here, or county.
We can survive for 10 minutes. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
I mean,
and I need your brains for names. And speaking of which, I need one right now. It's on the same lake. Well, actually, this would be if we were using the lore you came up for Green Barrel earlier. It would be where the ale from the barrel came out.
The ale lake.
The ale lake
of ale.
A lake.
Ale Ford. Like
Aylford, yeah.
A river of ale and a crossing at the River Vale.
Yeah. My entire D&D writing is like that. Everything has its small thing, but no one ever asks about them, and then asks about something I didn't plan for.
Yeah, that's always the case.
Like I didn't come up with this like random fucking NPC's name.
There you go. That is DMs out there. Oh, we got a chat message. White Cyclop BR. Yo, so fucking cool, man. I was doing a novel, but making a entire mod on CK3 must be awesome and laborious lol. And if I dare, can I have a character? Just a xenophobic Roman lol. Well, that would fit with. Thank you for the follow, by the way. That would fit with these guys because these are xenophobic halflings. So I can make a xenophobic halfling called Roman, inspired by your surname in some way, or your surname inspired by your username in some way. No, what were you guys saying? Just a second.
I don't remember. Oh yeah. I sometimes I do a lot of world building that never gets like found, and then have to scramble for something I never would have thought it was going to be picked up on.
Yeah. You get very attached to NPCs.
Yeah.
No, I like to put like a whenever my players like reach a new town or whatever, I'll give them like a little handout. Now it's easier online on Roll20 because you can have all of them prepared, but I'll give them like a little handout of where they're visiting and what they might have heard, through the grapevine about the place, so they're prepared as they go in. And I can be like, I didn't write this for nothing. They're actually reading it. I did a novel, and there is this Roman elf called Dornum Maximus, and he has like a huge heavy armor and uses Sauron spiked mace lol. Contrary to what I am asking, he is very kind actually. Well, I think that's a very interesting character idea. Someone who, on the outside, can be very, like, a xenophobic Roman type thing. Like, if you're going for the whole Roman thing, you'd have like this very almost lawful neutral in a way. They're very by the book and with the xenophobic, but like maybe that's a result of the culture and place they were raised.
Yeah. I just think that's quite interesting versus like how much of the culture influences the character, even if they're quite at heart. Like,
it was like learned rather than Was there a Dornum Minimus?
Well, you're immediately getting put into the mod because Dornum will be used as the first part of this this town name. Dornumton. Dornumton. Wait, what's a Roman suffix for a? He's a legatus general of the Second Legion, Iron Wall Legion. Ooh, Dornum Wall. I like that actually.
Yeah.
Dornham Wall.
If you got that area with the wall.
Yeah, the wall is nearby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wall.
The wall.
Game of Thrones. Yes, I actually make that 80. Dornham Wall will be 80. They will be in sight of the wall. So fun talking with 5 people. Well, there's 3 here and you. Who's the scary?
He knows something we don't.
Yeah, I know. We've actually got like a 4th silent person on the call with us.
There's a spectre among us.
Yeah, no, but okay. Then we need a new town name for this place here. The Ironwall Legion on my world are called that because they use Tower Shield. I talk with ghosts all. Tower Shields. Kind of like the Legionary Shields. That's quite cool. So, new name. This
New name.
area of nothing in between farms and trees and lake and bay.
It's very diverse area.
Yeah.
Land-wise.
Yeah.
Land wide.
Oh.
Land wide.
Wide land.
The Widelands.
What the Widelands?
What? Is it wide?
Yeah, not really. It's one of the smaller provinces.
Maybe
that's why, like Greenland and Iceland.
Finland.
I think the Widelands is quite cool, just because the fact that the province directly north of it is twice its size.
Yeah.
I'll need to go barony. Tower shields are that huge iron bulk they call a shield on medieval times crossbow users. But the iron part I'd mix with Warring States Chinese tower shields. I think I know what you're talking about with the crossbows. There's like a little notch at the top for the crossbows to go through, isn't there? Do you guys know what we're on about?
I think so.
You do archery, is that?
It's not really crossbows.
Not really
No. Do we have shields in archery?
You could do. Come on, stop it up. Come on.
Yeah, like
Step up.
shield mod on the front of the bow.
Shield mod.
Shield mod.
Yeah.
What were we
You
going to
never
call
shot-
it? The Widelands.
Widelands, yeah. Have you ever tried crossbow?
No.
You have a regular bow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it is a lot easier to get your hands on a regular bow than a proper crossbow.
A real crossbow.
I suppose.
Oh, the
that's
shield
like
on
a
the back of the crossbow users. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no, I've never seen any like crossbow club at like a university or anything.
It's just like, yeah, I feel like that's far more dangerous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That they used when they turned their backs to recharge. Oh, I always wondered why they had them on their backs. I thought it was just like in case they got into melee combat, they would just like whip it out. I didn't realize it was so they could reload.
Defense, like turn around and squat.
We played Total Wars. I have, yes. I really enjoyed Total Wars.
Yeah.
A good set of games. Although the fantasy ones now don't really use the realistic ways of the crossbows, or even the gunners. Like the musketmen will just like fire and then stand there for like 5 seconds, then fire again. No reloading or anything needed. Right, last town name.
Town name?
Well, province name. It is next to like a main road and a lake.
So like there'll be a lot of travelers.
Something pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Let me turn on the height map to see if that. Oh. Boing boing. Okay. Yep. Human eyes not the best at telling the difference between shades of grey. Oh yeah, there is like a kind of valley that goes up to the river there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Pass would be good.
something past
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would be the main road from the main road through the kingdom to like this duchy. It would go through there.
It's a halfling place, so it'd be like
What kind of trade do halflings do?
yeah.
Food and eat. It's kind of stereotyping. Pipe weed.
Weed pass.
Yeah, like Gilly pass.
Gilly pass.
Gilly pass. Oh,
Yeah.
that's an alright one actually. Well, while mine aren't very realistic, magic still impacts my world's armies. They use Imperial Mages, Centurions have to have magic. The flag bearer is also a low-tier magician, etc. That's a really good point. I don't know if you've come across this in your game, but like, have you had to think of how magic would interact with like large geopolitical like warfare and machinations?
Yeah, well, in my game, like I said, magic is like running out. So they've created a resource, and it's a name I stole from Fairy Tale. Or they have magic crystals called Lacrima, and it's like an energy source where people like poured the last of their magic into a crystal and sold it like a valuable jewel, and other people can draw magic from them and use them as and use magic for themselves, even though they have no attunement to magic. So there are people who like load like these big arquebuses and use them as like energy, or it's like, and then like it's basically just like a power source, and it and like stuff like that, and it has like a lot of different like utility. So it's.
But then you got the captain of your like main army.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Like an ammo belt, and just kept casting spells using them.
Yeah, whereas most of the soldiers
have one strapped to like a gun to imbue it with like light magic.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, I watched Shadowversity to think of that. Shadowversity, that's the YouTuber who does a lot of the medieval weapons and talks about like fantasy.
Right.
Oh, is he one of the sword guys?
One of the sword guys, yes.
One of the sword guys. I think I've watched some of his stuff.
One of the sword guys.
One of the sword guys.
He's one of the big sword guys, yeah.
One of the big sword guys.
I've watched a few of his things to get like ideas, because he's talked about how you know, more realistic ways of portraying carrying gold and things like that in a D&D world. And he's Australian, so that's extra points.
Yeah. Well.
But magic is pretty much used in traps, buffs, demoralize, range attack, and without mentioning the overpowered people on my story, or even the gods all. Right, well, he did some both things.
There you go.
Oh,
no, I had to do a like, the players in my game were part of a battle, a large scale battle at the climax of the arc that it revolves around this area that we're modding at the minute. And they had to, they were kind of tasked with leading a squad each, a squad of like, well, a platoon each. And the way they use some of their spells, like Fireball, that is so devastating on a battlefield with formations and stuff. Because traditional warfare, you know, they would be in formation, they'd be tight-knit, close together. A Fireball breaks that immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And then what do you do? You have to completely change it.
Have you ever watched the anime, I think it's called Overlord?
No, I haven't seen Overlord.
That's like a classic. Someone got stuck into a video game and is now like the most powerful person in the game.
An isekai.
Yeah. Exactly. It's quite good. I do recommend it if you don't mind like copious amounts of fan service.
Oh god.
So he does wage war, like he does like his you see the battle tactics and the wars and stuff that he uses. He does this one, yeah, he does like the field spells and then like sends like death armies and whatnot. He does this one spell that like basically it wipes out thousands of troops.
Oof.
And it just immediately, I missed balls and they all die. And people think the spell's over, but what he really did was like tribute their souls to summon more creatures. And that was such a really cool moment, and sort of, an interesting use of like a spell that would be used in wartime and things like that.
Oh, well, one thing, like adamantine ranking or hero ranking, people can change entire battles in my story, mainly because heroes get immortality with lifespan. All right. Yeah, watch Overlord.
Nice.
Yeah, the tight shield
Nice.
thing on my story is resolved by the Centurions and Flag Bearers. Magic. That's why they're important. If they are dead, the whole column falls apart. Yeah. I think that's a really good way. Like every squad or platoon or whatever needs to have someone who can counter. Like spells that can really damage. I mean, I don't know how you would counter like what you were talking about there, Hassan. Like big.
Yeah, that's crazy level magic. That well, I used to play before I played D&D. I played Warhammer. And even like the Lord of the Rings Warhammer game, the Games Workshop game.
Oh yeah.
That stuff involves war, battle, along with magic. And there's like pretty cool stuff like to like strategize and integrate there. A lot of my Warhammer figurines I use in my because they translate so easy.
Right. Well, I used to play. I used to be the vanilla boy, and I played Space Marines in Warhammer 40k.
Nice.
Warhammer was a bigger inspiration for me. To me, it seems like I actually speaking to a lot of people who are into D&D, a lot of them did seem to start with the tabletop battle games like Warhammer, like Lord of the Rings tabletop stuff.
Very expensive hobbies.
And then they go to the slightly less expensive one of D&D.
Yeah.
Although if you like collecting miniatures, it's still
Yeah.
But no, it is because it kind of does get you into the mind space of being able to picture these battles.
Absolutely, yeah.
In your head, like you can see, you place your little Tyranids or Imperial Guard down, and they're just static figures on a thing. But when you do the battles and you measure it out, even if you're sitting there with like a tape measure or whatever, in your head you're going, right, this guy's charging up his lasgun and firing at this Gene Stealer over here. It's
absolutely, yeah.
You make the stories in your head.
Stories going on all the time, yeah. Obviously, absolutely. This guy's about to go into retirement. This guy's just had a kid on the way.
Okay. Yeah, crafting a whole story about them, a sob story for when they do eventually get killed. Or a last hurrah if you win the battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah. I try to make it in my campaigns. Even if every bandit, I think I try to make it look like, oh, they're full people. Like, I want the party to kind of feel bad for killing them. We did this one where it was with like this guy. He did like a disguise self, killed a bandit, disguised himself as him called Jim, and then started like just living amongst the bandits for a little bit, and then he learned all about who Jim was as Jim, and learned that they all loved Jim, and they saw him as like an elder, like a thing of like where they go for advice and like confidence and things like that. It became horrific. I was playing with Alex, and he was literally like, "What if I never turned back? Like, I had to every hour or so had to leave and like recast this guy's self, come back." And it's like I just live my life as now.
But you can get a lot of like hero turned ally stories, can't you? Like Vegeta.
Yeah,
things. Maybe not to the same like extremes as that, but you know, someone who's even like a minor NPC enemy, like just like they're my, like you might let them live at the end of it, and then could show up later, be it like having turned their life around.
Yeah.
Or your characters can make an incredibly dark moment from something you didn't expect, where they execute like what my characters did. That was not what I expected. Although the paladin had just become an Oathbreaker paladin, so I can see why he decided it. Not in like a particularly bad way of like, oh, he didn't renounce his god entirely and that kind of thing, but he broke an oath. To his house that he was a knight of. Imperial Mage is the worst job on my world, as there is a magic cancer if you use too much magic over time, and the chance of you dying with a magic exhaustion if you use all your magic on one battle. So many mages, it just dies horribly low. That's kind of like Warhammer in the way that psychers get like so they just turn insane from like
I mean, there would be a cost, like a physical cost.
Oh yeah. You can't get something for nothing. Like The Witcher. I don't know if you've seen the Witcher series. I haven't seen season 2, and I won't really spoil season 1. But like a point of that is that to make magic, they have to take a force from something else. And a lot of that is in the form of like a life force. So I mean, it's physics, the conservation of energy and everything like that.
Yeah. If you need to eat to survive, what you need to do to make magic.
To cast magics of that level. They're like psyker level of bad things to be lol. Oh yeah, he just said there. As demon avoids corruption can reach them more easily. I seen The Witcher. Yeah, which is very good. I got inspired to do this mod thing by seeing. I was looking up stuff to do The Witcher, and someone had announced that they were doing a Witcher mod for Crusader Kings 3. I was like, ooh. I wonder if I like how easy it is to make a mod, and if I could do my own world that probably no one would care about. But it's a good mod to experiment on, because again, if it doesn't work out, no one's going to care about it. It's not like I've announced that Exandria mod, the Critical Role mod, and been like, expect this, and then be like, actually guys, can't do this. Right. We'll do this last test to see if this actually works, and then I think that will be the stream for the evening. Yes! The County of Dornham. There you go. White Cyclops. Your character lives as a county. Now, these flags are obviously placeholder as they're randomly generated, but there we go. The Duchy of Dawnshire. Might add another county there, maybe from Midshire. Yeah, nice big stretchy one. But there we go. That was the goal of the stream accomplished.
Nice.
Thank you so much for joining me.
That's all right. No worries.
And check out Absurdist Films if you like laughing, I guess. If you like comedy. You can do it, sir. Thumbs up. I may download your mod if one day I have the damn money to have CK3 lol. As a county, may he survival. He'll probably show up. If you say he's an elf, I'd say one of the counts or dukes or whatever of the elf area can be Dornham Maximus.
Nice.
A little reward for being active in the chat. Good luck for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you guys, hopefully you guys will be back on the stream at some point. I also hope you had a good time. And
I genuinely have. Yeah, it was really fun. Just watching you do all the stuff that I don't understand.
Did you see my little Easter egg for anyone looking through the code?
No.
Province 69 has a little note under it. Thank you everyone for tuning in and chatting away and stuff. Give us a follow if you want to keep up with the mod's progress, or you just want to hear us talk crap again.
Beautiful accent and a beautiful face.
Imagine the face.
Imagine the most beautifully bearded face, along with this voice, and times it by 10.
I'm a bearded face.
All right. Thank you very much for watching, and see you on the next stream. Bye.
Bye.